Hi everybody. I'm going to show you a few things in this video. Firstly, I'm going to go through what I'm doing for One Book July this year, 2020. So I'm just going to talk through that at the beginning. So if you're here for that, that's coming first. Secondly, I want to just show a few bits and bobs that I bought recently. A couple of magazines, a book and a pen that I thought might be interesting. And then at the end, I'm going to go through just a few thoughts I'm having about my planner situation generally, just quickly at the end. So that's what I'm going to try and cover in this video. So starting off with One Book July. So I really enjoy One Book July, partly because I enjoy the challenge of trying something different, but also because I just like the way it comes around every year, and it kind of gives you a sense of sort of rhythm to the year, and it's like a nice sense of community. Everybody kind of comes together a little bit for One Book July, like whether it's reading a book or attempting the same kind of challenge. I'll leave the links below about the links to the people who started One Book July, and you can watch their videos for their explanation. But basically, the main thing is there aren't any rules as such, but it did start off originally as try and use one book and one pen for the month of July. And the reason I think it's a brilliant challenge, partly is because we all know when we buy tons of, people that buy tons of planners and notebooks, that it can get quite ridiculous and you end up with 400 of the things. And you're like constantly switching from one to the other, and you can kind of feel a little bit overwhelmed at times. And I think it's really good once a year to sit down and think, okay, can I make it slightly easier on myself? Can I make it more streamlined? What can I cut out that's not working? Because, I do that, throughout the year anyway, trying to work out what's not working and what is. But I kind of like this chance in the middle of the year to sit down and think, okay, this isn't working, okay, I'm not going to do that. And if possible, can I do it in less things if I want to? This is just what I like to do. And I also think July is the perfect month to do it, because obviously it's 6 months away from the start of a new calendar year, which is the time probably where we're thinking about new setups again, like okay, next year I'm going to use the Hobonichi cousin, or next year I'm going to try using rings, or it's kind of December to January is like the time of starting new things, usually. Clearly we buy stuff all year long, but it's kind of, if you're using dated planners, it's like the refresh, isn't it, at the start of the year. So then halfway between that is July, which is a good sort of halfway point to stop and think, right, okay, what have I learnt so far this year, and what am I going to carry on for the rest of the year? And I know I am myself, and a lot of other people are, at this point in the year, we're already thinking ahead to next year and what we're going to do and what we're going to use. And I find that in July, when I sit down and think about, can I get it down to one book, or can I reduce it, or can I fit all of these things into this one book, or whatever way I'm interpreting the challenge, it kind of helps my decisions a little bit more about what I'm going to do next year, basically. Because after July we have August, which, if you're a Hobonichi fan, means excitement about the new releases for next year. And then obviously September, October is when they all start getting released in the shops and you can buy things and order things. So July I find is a really perfect time to sort of pause and think, hang on, is there anything I need to really seriously think about changing, or whatever, if that's the way you're going to interpret the challenge. But obviously you can do it in completely different ways. You can do like a sketchbook monthly challenge or whatever. There's other ways to do the challenge. But for me, One Book July is about looking at what I'm using in terms of planning, and can I put it into one. Okay, cup of tea while I take a breath. Oh, I'm out of breath. So I actually looked at my One Book July video from last year as to kind of see what I did last year. And the way I interpreted it last year was I did something that I called like the one everyday carry challenge, which to me was trying to get everything that I would want to take out of the house with me whenever I go out into one planner, so that I wasn't constantly bundling 25 books into the car, just in case I want to journal or just in case I need to check blah, blah, blah. And it was a really good way to do the challenge because I ended up going back to rings, and I've actually stayed in that system in a way. I mean, the cover's different, I think, to last year. Still a file effects, and there's more in here, but I mean, the bare bones of it have stayed the same. I've taken things in and out, but the actual sort of structure and format has stayed the same. But I was thinking to myself yesterday, like, it's not really an everyday carry. It's not now the kind of thing that I always shove in my handbag. In fact, I don't always take it out with me. Now, partly that's because we're not going out very much at the moment because of the pandemic, but partly because it's too heavy. I can't be bothered to carry it. And to be honest, I don't really go out and journal anymore because I don't go and sit in a cafe and journal. But I was watching a video the other day from Burgess Taylor, I think. I'm so sorry if I messed up your surname, but my brain is just letting it. And she was talking, it was a really good video. It was one of her, I think it was one of her coffee chats lives she does. I never get to catch them live because it's too early for me, but she was talking about how, I think Carrie Harling has like a 2-part system where she has one that's like planning, and then I can't remember what the other one is. I don't want to say in case I'm wrong. But Burgess was talking about having to have a grand central station, which I take it to mean somewhere where it's like the motherboard? What do I want to say? It's like the central system, and then like as long as you've got this, you can kind of keep yourself slightly sane, and then you can have all these other journals and all these other planners and whatever you like and different things like a gardening journal and a writing out your thoughts journal and anything you like to play around in, art journals, junk journals, sketchbooks. But at the centre of it is the one thing that's kind of keeping you sane. I don't want to say sane, but like I feel like if I lost all my other planners, I would be really sad and devastated. But I would feel like I wouldn't know where to start if I lost this one, basically, because it has the basics in it, basically. So this year my challenge wasn't one everyday carry, since I don't call this an everyday carry. I suppose my challenge really was, can I use my main grand central station, my main sort of, I need to think of a better word, but basically like my central planner, I don't know what you're going to call it. Can I use this for anything else? Can I put some of the other elements from my other notebooks into it? And can I, just for myself, just try just using this for the month? So I already had it set up with, the basics of planning, like calendars and reference pieces and accounts and projects, to-do lists and blah, 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 blah. But the only thing I didn't have in here that I thought I could try adding in and seeing how it worked would be journaling. So I was using this Hobonichi Techo avec A6 just experimentally as like a memory keeping journal. And I only did it from I think it was towards the end of April. And I was using it, I can show you some pages, I was using it like sticking stickers in and decorating and a little bit of notes about what happened on the day, photos, just playing around basically. And I enjoyed it, and I kind of liked the restrictions that you get from dated pages in terms of journaling. And I like the idea that I can come back and look through this and see a little bit of a memory from each day, even if in this case it was only a couple of origami pieces that my son made me, because I didn't have a very good June, terrible June in fact, but so I didn't get that much done. But I enjoyed this, and as I came to July to start the new one, I didn't really feel I enjoyed this format enough to start a whole new Hobonichi Techo commitment for the rest of the year. So I thought, well, July's a great opportunity then. Instead of grabbing the July to December one of these and carrying on, why don't I try putting it into here and keeping my journaling, my memory keeping side of things, alongside my planning. So this is kind of how I'm approaching One Book July, which is kind of, I suppose it's like the original idea. Really, it is me trying to do everything in one, but I'm obviously not foregoing all of my other planners that I have going on, all of my other, like my work traveler's notebook and my my book notes. You know, I've got tons of other planners. I'm not going to get rid of any of them, but I suppose I'm just trying to get more things into one planner. So anyway, I've whittled off so long. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a quick flip through. I'm not going to go into detail, just to kind of share where I'm at basically with this one. So this is a Filofax Finchley, and I bought it secondhand because, and it was quite cheap. Considering it's like 100% leather, Filofax, you know, the insides were like completely untouched and lovely. But I think the person had put it on cheap because they must have left it out in the sun. Because you can see I don't know if you can see on camera, but the front cover is slightly different colour to the back. I think this is the original cover here, and this must have been faded slightly, but see, you only notice it when it's open, so I don't mind. You only see one side at a time, and it's fine. So yeah, I bought this towards the end of last year, I think. And it's working really well. I really like a naturally brown colour leather. So in the pockets I have my address, with my address in Japanese so that I can write it out when I'm out and remember how to write it, and in English. I have emergency contact information and health information in English and Japanese here. I have two little things my son made that I always keep with me in there. I've got a little washi tape. I figured I'd just have one washi tape card at a time. So it's rainy season in Japan here, lots of rain. The forecast is just rain, rain, rain. So I have a rain themed washi tape. Another little laminated card with post-it notes on. This is my like monthly cycle booklet, which I made myself. I just list out the symptoms, physically and emotionally, the dates of my cycle, and I just sort of fill that in just to kind of keep a track on it, because I find that if I keep track of it, it kind of explains a lot of things. A few like functional stickers that I made. What's this? Oh, that's a letter my son gave me, so that's just shoved in there because it's well cute. I have a quite thick dashboard at the beginning, which has a few like words. I did a workbook. What was it called? I can't remember the name now. But it was all about setting goals based on how you want to feel rather than things you want to achieve. So these are all the ways I want to feel, basically. And this is like a little reminder at the top to be more eco-friendly. Use what I have, buy second-hand, avoid plastic, buy reusable, budget well. And this is just here because I was thinking about doing a video about all the different planner brands in Japan, like the major brands, like as a summary video ahead of choosing what to do next year. So the first section is calendar, which is kind of the usual thing, just like yearly layout. I do have some sort of forward planning bits here, and then the monthly spread. So this is for basic appointments that are not going to change. I don't have any like to-do lists or goals beyond things I have to do, like pay taxes and things. So I have the monthly spreads, and I do archive as I go, so I've only got July onwards in here. And then the next section is the newest one. So this is a bit I've added in. So I've called this the journal section. And I have a habit tracker, which I'm obviously not doing that great on, but I'm trying to get back on track of things. So I've got a habit tracker there, which I bought off Etsy, and if you ask me, I will find out who it's from, because I can't remember now. And then I just started journaling, and I just do a combination of writing and sticking the washi tape on, and I was quite worried that without the sort of pressure of dated pages, I might not do it every day. But I'm actually doing all right, and I have managed to do it every day. Maybe not on the day, but I've written something or stuck something down for each day. And I do like the flexibility of using how much space I want to use. I don't have to use a whole page. I can just write a little bit. I can write lots, and I'm just going to keep going like this. So yeah, washi tape. I did sort of pre-stamp a load of date stickers to kind of make me feel like I have to do it every day. So that maybe helps. This is a book that I listened to last week. Photos of things my son's drawn, random things I found that I liked, like quotes and things like that. We've been sleeping in a tent in our living room for the past 4 nights, which is really fun. It's kind of a random thing to do, but I bought a new pop-up tent, one of those ones that like pops up automatically, and I figured I ought to test it out in the living room before I go outside with it and embarrass myself in public trying to get it up. And obviously once I put it up, my son was like, let's sleep in it. So we've, shoved loads and loads of pillows and cushions in there, and we've been sleeping in that. The book I'm listening to at the moment. Yeah, and that's where we're at basically. So I've got a few more pages here to fill. This bookmark here is so that if I want to just write, I can just flip to the next page, and this one you can remove it and put it back in again. So after all the pages, I've also got this, I think this is a File Effects, yeah it is File Effects, clear thingy that you can put things in. So I put a few bits in here to stick down for today or whenever. This is the one thing which is one of the books, the book that Carrie Harling's reading this month, and I do have it on my Kindle, so I'm hoping to read that one, and if I do I'll let you know what I think. Then I have a load of stickers. Now to get the stickers in here, I just stuck them on. I've actually used these obviously. I just stuck some sticker sheets onto normal File Effects paper using tape runner, glue tape runner, and that keeps it quite firmly on, and I can reuse these, so I'm leaving them like that, and then next month if I carry on doing this I can stick other stickers on there. So I've got dated stickers, these are all pre-stamped with a date stamp, and some just non-dated random stickers to use, a few post-it notes, yeah, and then it goes back to what my normal system is. So accounts, I have like a monthly summary of things I need to do, like sort out my savings, check the bank balances, check the credit card bills and all that lot. I have like a monthly spending for July, a credit card bill tracker so I don't get a surprise. That's the one for next month. I've got a few, like I made a few like savings goals sheets, but at the moment I'm not in a position to save money, but they're there for when I am. Quick tea break. The next section is projects, and within this section I've broken it down into 6 subsections, and I just roughly made these tabs. I haven't done any like proper fancy new dividers with the new headings on, because this is just a temporary experiment. So all I did is got some pre-existing dividers, and I just stuck this as a sticker, and I just kind of made sure it stayed with some washi tape. And then with this one, again, I've done the same. I just roughly drew a picture because there wasn't much room for words and stuck it on. It's just a sticker. And then if I decide it works, I might make new ones, like proper ones. But at the moment, this is just like a temporary experiment, I suppose. So the first project section is reading, a list of books I want to read, which I obviously want to fill up. And then I figured I'd write down the books that I've read, because I want to kind of read more, I think, this rest of this year. Next section is house and garden, house projects I want to do, garden projects, things I need to do, and then wish lists. I've started doing wish lists again by category. They're really useful if you're trying to cut down on what you're spending money on, because I find that just by, if I want something or I think, oh, maybe we should get so and so, if I write it on the list, it kind of makes me less likely to just suddenly go and buy it, because I suppose whilst I'm writing it, I'm seeing all the other things that are on the list that I also want. So I'm thinking, well, I can't buy that because I need to get this yet first or whatever. It kind of helps get things in perspective, basically. And also it means that if it's on the list for a long time, at some point you might think, well, clearly I don't need it. So you can sort of cross it off and thereby save money. Next section is like sewing and crafts. Sewing and craft projects I'm in the middle of, or want to finish, or want to try, and then the wish list of things I'd like to, fabrics and things I'd like to buy. I suppose if I'm in the sewing shop or craft shop, I might be able to pick these up if I have the spare money. This is just like a personal section, personal wish list. Some sort of notes pages from The Artist's Way, which I put in here because they kind of remind me to sort of do things for myself a bit more, I suppose. So those are things, and they're things I enjoy in case I forget and just start being miserable again. Creative projects I want to try, and someday maybe list things I'd like to do one day. Now this section is Christmas, because yes, I'm thinking about it. So I've got just a quick list of thoughts about Christmas. And then the last section is like family. So at the moment I've only got, I don't have a page for my son in here yet, because he gets lots of mentions in my journaling. So he's covered. But I do have a list for my husband because he's not here, so he doesn't get mentioned in my journal particularly. But sometimes I need to remember things I need to ask him or speak to him about, and important dates and things. This I've just shoved in because I made this insert a while ago as an idea for a project insert. So you'd write the name of the project at the top. You can use this side and this side to kind of think about ideas or draw things, and then you'd write out the steps of the project here, which I thought might be quite a useful layout, but I haven't got any one particular big project to work on yet. But I thought I'll put it in there, and then if I do, I can use it. And then just very quickly, some ideas about what to do 2021 planning. If I have any thoughts as I go, I can just write them in here. Next section is just papers, spare papers. And then the last section is the same as it has been for a very long time, which is just reference, things I just might need to look up every now and then. So things about my son's clothing sizes, so that I don't, if I'm in a shop and I don't know what size is, because I can't remember numbers very well, I can look it up if I find something to buy in. Pen tests, and then behind there's like opening times of local places, emergency boxes in the car, references about car seat, travel. Travel did have its own section last year. I actually had a whole section dedicated to travel, but clearly that's not really happening much now. I'm in the situation now where I can't travel abroad to see my family because Japan wouldn't let me back in the country if I did that, and my husband can't come here, and my family can't come here. Oh God. So yeah, can't really think about travel or plan travel at the moment because we have basically isolation until God knows when. So anyway, so you know, I've just kept them here for one day when we do travel again. Travel reference, and then things about just information from my son's nursery. And I just kept these in here because obviously that's my husband and my son, and some pictures that kind of made me, it's supposed to encourage me to like take risks a bit more maybe. And then that's my old dashboard that was at the front, but I put it at the back to give it a rest because I wanted to use this one. And then this here is, I always have these in here in the back of any file effects I use. It's a little cash envelope with just a bit of emergency cash in. And then just a couple of post-it notes and what's left of these sticky notes. And the pen is a high-tech C Coletto from Pilot with just two reds randomly. Don't ask me why. A black and a green. I might change those out at some point. But it's a super fine, it's 0.3, the black, which I find is really good for writing in here. So that's it. So yeah, basically there's a lot of stuff that's the same as last year. Reference and papers and accounts and calendar. I've changed up the project section a bit because obviously that changes as things change. But the new thing for this year, for One Book July, is trying to do my journaling in here as well. So now everything is in here and I don't want to lose it ever. But yeah, so I suppose I'm sort of sticking to the original challenge a little bit more, perhaps this year. I'm just going to see how it goes, and then when it comes to the end of July, I'll archive these journal pages, take them out, and then just consider, am I going to carry on doing it like this, or would I prefer a separate one for my daily journaling? So that is the conclusion of my One Book July. So if that's all you wanted to watch, this is my One Book July video. But I am going to go on now very quickly to show a couple of things that I bought recently that might be interesting, and a few more thoughts about Christmas planning and a new idea for a gardening planner. So, things I bought recently. Firstly, I'll show you this pen. So this is a Uni-ball ONE, and I think this is a new pen, or newish anyway. So Uni-ball is a Mitsubishi brand pen. It's a gel pen. I think I just said that, didn't I? It has a clip which is really easy to use, and it's 0.38, and it's obviously this kind of pen. Now, the reason I bought this is because it claimed to be blacker. If you like your gel pens black, or your black pens are black, this is supposed to be as black as they come. And see, it's very nice, good quality, because they always are, these uni pens. And I can't remember where I put, did I keep the leaf that it came with? I don't think I did. But basically it said something about when the ink droplets go on the page, they've designed them somehow that they sit on the top more, they don't sink in so far. Now what that means for paper like Tomaway River, I have no idea. But I don't know, it's just a very nice gel ink pen. Sorry, I'm not very good at reviews, but basically if you like your gel pens and you like them black and you fancy trying something new, yeah, the Uni-ball, you can't really see it, but it says Uni-ball ONE on there. So that's quite fun, I got that one. I also picked up this magazine called Ink, obviously you can read. And it's one of these things called a MOOC, which is like magazine book. It's like kind of like a book in a magazine form. Anyway, it's basically all about cartridge pen inks, fountain pen inks. And I got this because it's an absolute brilliant reference for colours. So it goes through like a little introduction about, just check I'm in frame. Yes, it has like a basic introduction about fountain pens, how they work, how to use them, how to refill them, what kind of inks are available, what cartridges are available. Obviously it's all in Japanese, but I thought this part was interesting. Just look at the pictures. Then it has a couple of interviews with people who are obsessed with them and have loads of them, I suppose. So it was quite good to find people to follow on Instagram that do like lettering and, you know, ink swatches galore. There's not too much glare. So this is all still people, interviews with people. And this nib here, this guy's called Bechodi. He's got Twitter there. He's actually on Instagram as well. But you can see him doing like hand lettering with a really interesting sort of round blobby nib. And I did buy, I found them on Amazon and they were quite reasonable. I bought this, so it's a dip one, but I think it's this one or this one he was using. They're sort of round on the end, so I'm going to have a go with those at some point. But anyway, the bit that I thought was brilliant in this magazine was, if you keep going, see, it's just nice to look at some point. So this is just introducing some new, when this was published, brands, I think, or new series of inks. But it has a glossary of all, I'm assuming all, if not most of them, of the inks available, with like a colour swatch. And it goes on for pages, so all the brands, Platinum, Mont Blanc, Sailor, Hang on, not yet then. This is still interviews with people. And come on, where are we? I mean, look, these are like vintage ink bottles. Pilot ink, Pelican. How people store their fountain pens. Okay, here we go. Ink catalogue. So yeah, every brand with like a swatch of the colour and then a bit like a writing sample. Now, obviously the brands are in English, but the names are not. But the names are in Japanese that I can read. So I can look through this. And if I see an ink for sale, like secondhand somewhere, or reduced, since I'm all about the reduced things at the moment, I can look at the colour here. So yeah, this is like amazing if you're really into fountain pen inks, because you can just see the names and colour ranges. So this is the ones that I collect at the moment. These are the Pilot Iroshizuku ones. So I can see which ones I've got on here. I've got that one. And which ones I want. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you that one because I thought that was brilliant. Now if you want to order it, I have a feeling you probably can. You can order it from amazon.co.jp. You have to have your separate Japanese Amazon account, but if you use Google Translate, it shouldn't be too hard to set up. And if I just show, if you wanted it, you could pause the video and copy down the ISBN and look it up. So yeah, that's something I'm really glad to have as a reference. Last but not least, I got this book. It had to come from the UK, I think. The Joy of Watercolour, 40 Happy Lessons by Emma Block. And as you know, I've been trying to get into doing watercolour a bit more. I haven't done anything recently, but hopefully I will. But I really liked the look of this book because the exercises are, well, I suppose they're, look at that, isn't that cute? They're like paintings that I would want to do anyway. Like they're not, I found a lot of watercolour books were just like landscapes of country scenes, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's nice. It's not necessarily something that makes me want to draw it. But this, for example, I'd like to draw that. That's quite cute. So the idea is, I think, that they start off, well, she names them like beginner, intermediate and advanced. So they don't go in order in that way. You could, you know, pick through and do all the beginner ones first and then get on to the more advanced ones. But I thought they were just really nice, not too taxing, hopefully, illustrations to try. And she actually gives you colour suggestions as well. And then step by step, lots of explanations, and she even tells you how to mix it and how to, it says here, use a watery wash of crimson or whatever. You know, it's telling you quite detailed how to practically do it. So I thought that was quite good. It feels doable basically, and her drawings just are very charming. So I'm hoping to try some of those soon. That's the plan. So that's all my spending from the past several months, I would say. I haven't really shared anything for a while. And then last but not least, and I hope this isn't crazy long, okay, it is a bit, but never mind. Last but not least, just some developments, I suppose, in what I'm doing. I have already, no, hang on, I'll get onto that. First, before that, I thought I'd dig out my old paper chase A5. This was actually in a pile of things to sell. And then the other day I was thinking about all these gardening things I'd love to do one day, and all the indoor plants I'd like to have and all this stuff. And I kept seeing pictures everywhere of the things I'd like and collecting them, and I didn't have anywhere to put them. So I was thinking maybe to turn this into sort of a gardening journal. Now the majority of my gardening at the moment is going to have to be indoor plants because I live with my mother-in-law and she sort of rules the garden. That's her territory. So I can't go out and do stuff out there because it's her land and her sort of area. But I can do things indoors, and I can start growing things indoors in pots that eventually, if we do have a place of our own, we can plant them outside. So I thought I'd start this. So I might set this up as like a gardening journal, and if I do, I will share it, I think. And then lastly, oh my god, does everybody know what this is? This is my Christmas planner. And I know it's July, but I started thinking about it because I think I just need something to look forward to. Like, I can't look forward to the usual things. Normally I'd look forward to like my husband coming, and I'd have this sort of regularity of his visits that would be like sort of like a highlight to look forward to. I don't have it at all. So, and also I can't look forward to going back to the UK to see my family. So I don't have like a cheerful event coming up that I can look forward to. So the only thing I can think of that is definitely going to come is like the Christmas season. And it's not going to be very good if I can't have my husband here, but I can make it as good as I can for me and my son, basically. So I think that's why I've started thinking about it already. So all I did was go on Pinterest and print off some sort of images of things I'd like to do this year, including I'm going to be doing another junk journal, I think, because I just enjoy doing them and it's sort of become a yearly thing for me. So I've got a few pictures of things I like. I can't credit anybody for these pictures because they just came off Pinterest, I'm sorry. But just sort of, just some ideas. I'm just showing you the journaly pictures, really, of things I like to do. And obviously, did I show that? I don't think I did I? These ones are cute. I'm sorry if they're all like the wrong way up, but so I've just done that, really, I have nothing else. And I am thinking about redoing this planner and doing it differently, just for a change. And I'm thinking I might, possibly, maybe do a TN, a traveller's notebook, this year. I've been watching some videos by CurlyHairandDaisies, I think she's called. I just found her and she does some nice videos of her traveller's notebook setups, and she's obsessed with Christmas and she's already got all her Christmas stuff out. In fact, I think she's been using her Christmas covers all year, and she's got some gorgeous Christmas traveller's notebook covers from Lyra & Co, and I've always loved Lyra & Co, Jane's TN covers, Christmas ones, but because I was using this I never had any need to buy one. And I'm thinking, oh, if I can't buy one from her, because I don't think she's got any at the moment, I might make one. And that would kind of keep me entertained and occupied, Christmas-wise, for now, because I feel like I'm jumping in a bit too early with it. If I could sort of have the project of making the cover, that might keep me occupied. So let me know if you'd like to see that. Because obviously every year I do a junk journal series showing my Christmas junk journal, like a daily journal, December daily junk journal thing, which I'm going to hopefully do again. But I'm wondering whether to show the making of the traveller's notebook and how that goes. But let me know if you're interested. So I feel like I've talked so fast. I'm so sorry if you can't understand half of what I'm saying, but I haven't done a video for a while and I drank a lot of coffee and I'm just kind of trying to squeeze a lot into one video, and I'm hoping I won't have to do much editing, because like the studio vlogs I was doing in spring, I've stopped doing because I'm not really, it doesn't make sense for me to do studio vlogs because I'm not working in a studio at the moment. Like, I'm not creating anything to sell. I can't sell anything because I can't really post anything yet. I think possibly soon I will be able to, but it's not like there's no studio work to share in a studio vlog. So what am I trying to say? Yeah, so basically I thought I'd do like a more of a, the studio vlogs took me ages to make, basically, because I had to edit every day and edit, you know, do all the graphics and stuff, which I enjoyed. But there's no point going to all the effort if I don't have like good content to put in. So I'm hoping this one's going to be easy to edit, and I hope you enjoyed it, basically. Yeah, I don't think anything else to say now, really. I hope you're enjoying One Book July. Let me know in the comments like what you're doing for the month. If you're already thinking about Christmas, what's your plans for Christmas? Yeah, and any questions, anything I've shared here, if I've said someone's name wrong or I've miscredited, let me know. And yeah, I hope everyone's well, and I hopefully see you soon. Okay, bye.